Hey guys, I have over on my board, hell, a couple dozen different types of bank shots that are, some of them are more common than others in bank pool, and the terms used to describe them. I'm not going to go through all those. At first I thought I would, but some of them are just, no. There's just a few general rules I just want to talk about that anybody playing bank pool, like for money, should know. Um, and a lot of them they don't know. For several reasons. But I played a guy yesterday. He did not know a lot of the terms, but he's a young guy, younger than I thought. After we got done playing, I told him, if you're going to call a shot like this 8 cross corner, it is an 8 cross corner. It is not an 8 straight back, even though it's coming straight back to the person. This 8 into this corner is a straight back. As a general rule, okay? If a ball is going off a rail, one rail, and crossing the table into a corner or into a side, that is a cross corner, cross side shot. As a general rule, if a ball is going off one short rail into one of these two pockets, this is a straight back. If I shot the 8 straight back to here, I would usually point, but I could also say straight back to my right in this case. Straight back to the right. This would be the left, that would be the right. You want to know what your opponent, you want your opponent to know what the hell you're shooting. I also have a friend of mine that I play a lot of bank pool with. And the impression I get is not that he doesn't know the terms. He just wants to come off as some kind of like a, jaded bank pool expert. And all he has to do is just wave at a pocket. And that's good enough. It's really not good enough, especially if you don't know the opponent. So in this case, if I'm going to put the 8 in this pocket, I'm going to say straight back, and I'm just going to point. This doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't make me look like an idiot or a newbie to point at the pocket. This shot is never a cross corner shot into this pocket. Even if I put the cue ball here, and the cue ball is actually going to cross the 8, cross in front of the 8. This is never a cross. I'm going to cross the 8. If somebody tells me I'm going to cross the 8 and they don't point at anything, I'm probably going to think they're going to try to put it right here. Bank it off this rail into here. Now, of course, if they try to send it straight back, and it comes up there, either goes in or comes close, I am probably not going to go, oh, you called it here, and stab the guy. But I'm a nice person. I'm not going to get into an argument about something like that. I want people to use the right terminology, though. I just do. I'm just like that. I avoid drama in my life. And the people that are friends of mine, this one guy is an actual friend of mine, and the kid I played yesterday, he's a hell of a nice guy. I don't want him to get into arguments and stuff about things. So one of the main things you can do to avoid drama or arguments is point at the pocket. What are you doing? You can announce something, and then if you point at the pocket, it kind of removes all doubt. A lot of times you look, hey, do you understand? They'll nod or something. I'm going to shoot the 8 here. I could say straight back under me. I would not ever say I'm going to cross the 8, even though the cue ball is going across the face of the 8. No, this is not a cross shot. This is a straight back. shot. In some parts of the country, and I want to say Eastern Kentucky is one of them, they would call this a long rail. They would say long rail. A lot of times they'll do this. Long rail. Okay, I know what he's freaking shooting at that point. There's not going to be an argument involved with that. If I had the exact same shot, I have dots so I can set up the exact same shot. And I just walk up and say straight back and fire at something. You know what? If the ball was clearly coming in this general direction and then missed, it's probably fine for a lot of people. But if I just walked up and said straight back and it went in and I didn't indicate a pocket at all, the guy might go, oh no, I thought you meant this pocket. Therefore, I'm not going to accept that shot. I'm going to stab you or whatever the hell is going to happen. Whatever kind of argument is going to happen. If I'm going to shoot you here, a one rail bank into here, this is a straight back to my right. Maybe I would even point. Straight back to my right, maybe even point and see if I can get it to go in. And it did. There's not any like real room for discussion about that, especially if you point at the pocket. Some shots are weird. Some shots are not as easy to identify just by, say, if I want to take this 5 and I want to go 3 rails on the side, that's what I'm going to say. But I'm also going to point. This is a fairly common shot, but maybe not to everybody. So do you look at it? 3 on the side. Okay. Did you understand it? If it doesn't look like good, you go 1, 2, 3 in the side. And you try it that way. This is one I'm probably going to miss, just so you're aware of that. Yeah. So, but you got the impression of where I was trying to go with it. So, as a general rule, like I said, cross side or cross corner means you hit a rail and you come across the table. Straight back, or in some cases long rail, means you're going the length of the table after you hit a rail. I don't know why they don't call the same people that will call this. They'll call this 5 ball here instead of straight back under me. They'll say long rail under me instead of. I don't know why the same people that do that don't say short rail here. I don't know why. I'm not from Eastern Kentucky, and I think that's an area where they use that type of terminology. In any case, point at the pocket. But this shot, cross-side in this pocket, is never a straight back. This is never a straight back. If you come up here and somebody tells me, bends over and says straight back, there's going to be a part of me that's going to be like, what the hell are they even thinking? Because straight back would mean cut the holy crap out of the 5, get it to bounce off this rail, and come back here. That's what straight back would mean in this case, if somebody called it. Now, I would know, once I saw them shoot it, that what they really meant was cross-side. But again, I'm a nice person. I like to avoid drama. Some people will, shall they, seek out drama. Have a shot like, let's say a shot like this right here. I'm perfectly straight in on the 5 into that pocket. If I want to say cross corner on the 5, that means here. If I want to say straight back on the 5, that means here. People will get those two mixed up sometimes when they're new. Especially this shot. Because they think, I'm going to cross the 5 and get it in. No. I mean, you're going to cross the 5, sure. That's not the name of the shot. I think I set myself up to where this shot won't go anyway. This shot is a straight back. If I felt like it, I'd say straight back to here. I usually wouldn't have to. If I say straight back, I'm gonna go kiss. I knew there was a kiss on that shot. Did I mention that 20 seconds ago? Say I have this shot right here, and I decide I'm going to bank it into one of these two pockets off of that rail. Straight back to my right means here. Straight back to my left means here. I can point. In a case like this, I don't really need to. If I come down here and I see straight back to my right, I think almost everybody's going to know what the heck it was that I was calling. If you want to be sure, point at the pocket. A lot of people either don't want to point in the pocket at all because they think it makes them look like a newbie, or they're like some people, like, I'm not going to name any names, okay? There are some very good players, though, that will come up on a table like this, and this is how they call the shot. That's what they do. Perfectly fine, but why couldn't they say cross-eyed? Or just say cross-eyed without even pointing in this case? Why couldn't they do that? No, they just, I'm a bank pool expert. I know what I'm doing. If you don't know what I'm calling, then you're not an expert. That's the impression I get a lot of times from people that just won't freaking say what they're doing. It doesn't hurt anything for me to say 8-ball cross-side. Sometimes I'll point. On a shot like this, it's pretty damn obvious. Oh, that was a good shot. Now, if I was going to call that off this point and then off this point and over here, I didn't call that. But if I was that stupid, that gets into the area where you have to start being specific. When the shots are not obvious at all, then you call 7-ball off here, here, and in that pocket. Or actually off here, 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 and in that pocket. Call it. Look at it. Are they laughing hysterically because of this bullshit you just called? Probably, but they know what you just called. And if you happen to fluke the ball in, then maybe they'll stop laughing hysterically for a little while. There's one of the shots that you just need to call. Another one would be a shot like this. 4 rails here. This is a fairly well-known shot among bank pool players and one-pocket players, but I mean it's nowhere near easy to make or whatever. I'm just going to say 4 rails, and I'm not just going to just wave my stick at the table and, I don't know, I guess hope that you know what I'm calling, or that you're too shy to wonder and ask aloud what I'm calling. If I just wanted to shoot this 4 rails here, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 rails in here. Bank pool players are going to know what you mean when you do that. One-pocket players are going to know what you mean when you do that. It doesn't take any time to do it, though, and it avoids trouble. And don't get a kiss. That was embarrassing. I was never, ever going to make the shot, but I didn't think I was going to get a kiss on it. Anyway, the same zip code as the pocket. But yeah, just do that. If I'm going to have a shot, again, fairly well known, but not maybe to everybody, and I want to say 5 rails. For some people, against some opponents, right here, I could say 5 rails. For some other people, I could say 5 rails into that pocket. If for some other people, I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rails into that pocket. It doesn't hurt anything to call the damn shot. It just doesn't. Has the cue ball in the wrong place anyway. So that's not going to go. If the cue ball had been out of the way, maybe it would have been in the right general vicinity. Don't know. That's not a shot that that you do very often. There's a 6-rail shot that I'm not strong enough to shoot on this table. And that would be 6 rails right here. It's not very damn common at all. I think I've seen it one time. And like on a pay-per-view. I'm sure the bank pool players that get in those, buy the rail games and all that, they'll see it a lot more often. I've only ever seen this shot, I think, one time. As a general rule, if you say rails, you're talking about consecutive rails. There are exceptions, and I'll get to those. But for me, if somebody just walked up and they're playing against me, and they said 6 rails, maybe they waved at the table, yeah, please be a little bit more specific. And then maybe they point here. And maybe I would see it at that point because I have seen the shot before. Maybe they point it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. I'm not strong enough to shoot this shot on this table. On a bar box, I think I've made it like once in my life. And that's going to be horrible anyway. The 8 was supposed to come in off this rail like about that. Does that make sense? Yeah. It doesn't happen very often, but frick, you just call it. What I was talking about with the general rule of, if you say rails, 2 rails, 3 rails, 4 rails, typically you mean consecutive, but not all the time. And, they just come up. This may be a place where the shots are obscure enough that you just want to just be sure. If I want to say 3 rails on the 8 into that pocket, I would probably also point 1, 2, 3 rails into that pocket. It doesn't hurt anything. So many times people, they just don't want to call anything because they think it makes them look like a dumbass or something. It was really weird how that 8-ball got all that English on it, wasn't it? I thought so anyway. That's not going to do it either. Maybe you get the general idea. So it's 5:15 in the morning, Christmas morning, if you can believe that shit. What was I saying? As a general rule, if you say rails, it means consecutive rails. There are exceptions. This would be one of them. The shot that I tried to do before, but 4 rails right here, and a lot of times I'll point out 1, 2, 3, 4. These are not consecutive rails. So point it out. Point it out. I get closer to it than I have been. And that same zip code again. This side pocket is really in the way a lot of times on that particular shot. What to do with something to shoot, and it can be played and made into a 2-way shot a lot of times. If I say times, 3 times, 2 times, 4 times, then usually that means opposite rails. If I want to take this 8 and I'm going to say 2 times, you probably should point 1, 2, here. So, or twice in the side, or twice in the corner, which would be here, here. Usually you kind of want to point. So if I want to say twice in the side and just point, that's usually good enough for what people are expecting you to do. That wasn't even close. That might have been a 4-rail shot. I could say 4 times in that side, and if I have enough strength left in me, and sometimes the shot will go 4 times in the side. So usually if you say times or you say twice or 4, whatever, that means opposite rails are involved. If you just say rails, usually that means they're consecutive, but not every time. I think I'm about done rambling right now. I'm trying to watch a stupid TV show that I've already seen before. And watching it again, it's not any better. But that's okay. I guess, thanks, guys, and Merry Christmas if you celebrate that type of thing.